Hey y'all, welcome to My Weird Mysteries, the channel that brings you interdimensional content, which means that the readings are from a broad and expansive point of view as they are channeled through vast dimensions of space and time and therefore should resonate with you guys whenever you come across them. So I'm just going to pull some cards and then we'll see what message comes out for you. From your spirit team. Your spirit team can include your ancestors, your spirit guides, your higher self, some entities that you walk with, that you've inherited through your bloodline, that you've made friends through your spiritual ascensions, made friends with through your spiritual ascensions, and so forth and so forth. The introverted intuitive. Do you guys know that concept by Carl Jung? The introverted intuitive. It basically speaks to, I suppose, people like you who perceive things that other people don't normally perceive, that are very sensitive to, I wanted to say light language, so that may resonate with some of you, but what I meant by that is like a subtle language, an energetic language. These people tend to, like, the normal social conditioning tends to bypass this person. For some reason, they tend to walk right past it and tend to fall into conditioning themselves naturally rather than being conditioned by the collective. We talk a lot here about conditioning. Not all conditioning is bad. Maybe not even any conditioning is bad. It's just a matter of, is it beneficial to you? Is the conditioning that you are receiving beneficial to you? Conditioning, the way in which you are programmed to act. There's certain ways in which society programs you to act. There's certain things that they can say, words, where if they say those words, you'll immediately feel fear. Or they say those words and you'll immediately want to be active and do something. Or they say those words and you will feel angry and want to be violent because they have conditioned you to be that way. You know, if you can't tell yet, conditioning is done so that you can, it's not only so that you can be controlled, but I mean, that's one of the bigger uses of conditioning. It's so that it's easier to tell you to sit down when someone needs you to sit down, and easier to say turn left when they need you to. Now, personally, like I said, I don't really think conditioning is bad, so to speak, because you'd be shocked at how many people actually prefer life that way. A lot of people actually prefer to be told when to turn left, when to turn right, when to sit down, when to scream and shout, and when to keep quiet. And then there's some people that ask why. Why should I turn left? Why should I turn right? Why should I keep quiet? Ultimately saying, I don't want to. One group is not better than the other. It's just different choices for different people. That's all. The introverted intuitive tends to condition themselves. That is to say, they tend to be stimulated by different responses, or they tend to respond to different stimulations. They tend to be able to condition themselves to not be afraid at the unknown, to not be afraid at discovering, to not be afraid of something new, something different. If anything, they tend to condition themselves to explore that which is different, to explore that which is unknown, to want to transcend the norm because they're excited by the possibility of what could be on the other side. Whereas the other group just gets told, don't go there, and they don't. The introverted intuitive wants to know, but what's there? Yes. The one group is told this is good. The other group investigates if it really is good. Again, it's not about one group being better than the other. It's really a choice based on you and your template. And it takes a while for the introverted intuitive to be confident in themselves and the way in which they perceive reality. Because they perceive reality in such a different way to the people around them. And what's happening is that I'm speaking to a group of introverted intuitives that have become very comfortable within their world. The way they see things, the way they interact with the world, with the people, with nature. You are comfortable with asking the questions that you ask. You are comfortable with the answers that you receive. You're no longer so afraid of seeing things for the way they are, even though sometimes that is actually very scary because a lot of things are not what they seem. People, for instance, are very much not what they seem. But it doesn't hurt you anymore. And it no longer makes you, I mean, I don't want to say it no longer makes you afraid because I want to make it very clear how fear is like a natural part of being a human being. Excessive fear, like being worrisome, where you like don't even know why you should be afraid, but you're just afraid. I mean, that's a problem. That's excessive. That's an imbalance. But when you're met with a lion or something or like you see a snake and you're afraid, I would I think that's cool. That's okay. But if you have a job interview and you become so afraid that you don't go to the job interview because you feel like, fuck it, I'm probably not going to get it anyways. Like, can you see how that's no good? But I digress. The introverted intuitive is no longer, yeah, I see why I digress. The introverted intuitive is no longer afraid of its world because let's be honest, you were afraid of your world at some point because of knowing how different you are and the different way in which you perceive reality. How you're able to just be silent and take it all in. And then you have these bouts where you're just loud and you want to express yourself. And this depth that you have to feel everything like so intimately. This empathic part of you that is able to understand what another person is going through. There was a time when it was all too much. But like I said in the previous reading, you're calibrating so well. Outside of your home is no longer this scary place. It's like you found your place within the world. Some of you may feel like you're a different kind of species of human being altogether because you really do process reality in a different way. It's very hard for people to lie to you. It's very hard for people to manipulate you, because you tend to see right through it. And even if you don't immediately, it's almost as if energetically you somehow tend to repel these people that would later want to manipulate you, so you don't actually get to interact with that energy at all. I'm getting there's certain people around you who in the past maybe haven't treated you, you know, in the best way. And you make them want to change. You make them want to be the type of people that you would like to interact with. And that's a whole nother psychology on its own, because it's that exact thing where you make them want to be like that, where when they're in a low place, you're the one they take it out on, because they perceive that wanting to be a person you would interact with as them not being good enough for you at this moment, which then just like makes them project like some kind of a self-hate thing onto you. I know it's like bizarre and whatever, but you get that now. That's the thing with being the introverted intuitive. These are things that you've now learned about people. I want to say about humans. And everything you've learned helps you navigate the world more smoothly. You're no longer so obsessed with being like everybody else. You've realized the benefit of who you are. For those of you that have never heard of this, go look up Carl Jung and the introverted intuitive, and you'll get more insight, like, into what exactly that is and what it incorporates. But like ultimately it's just, yeah, this person that has this like rich inner world that allows them to process reality in a completely different way. And it's a natural thing. It's not something that's taught. It's not something that is conditioned into them. It's something that they, like, that person is naturally. They ask all these questions that other people would consider bizarre. There's people that have never asked, like, who am I? But for the introverted intuitive, that is a natural question. Yeah, there's some new life that's being kind of like breathed into you. Yeah, you know what this reminds me of? I don't know. I could be making this up. My mind does that sometimes. Like, but I think like in the creation story, in the Christian creation story, where God is creating the skies and the water and whatever, there's a part where it says something about how God breathed on the water or something like that. And that's the kind of feeling I'm getting right now, where there's kind of like this stillness in your life, but it's not being stuck. It's not being complacent. It's not that. It's like it's part of the process, very much a part of the process no one speaks about. Like where something is about to occur, something, yes, some kind of, something is about to form. Something is about to go from the form of just, the form of conception, from the form of conception to the form of the material. So something is about to manifest. And you're in that moment in the middle. Listen, what? You're in the part in the middle where it's like in between conception and manifestation into the physical world. And God is breathing on the waters. And it's a nice space to be at. Like, it's chilled. You're looking forward to what's to come in general in your life. You have this deep understanding for that which has occurred already. And there's a sense of peace about you. You know, you're enjoying your life, you're enjoying your shows, you're enjoying your food, you're enjoying your job, you're enjoying your children, you're enjoying your single life, you're enjoying your marriage, you're enjoying the space in between your marriage and the possible single life. You're enjoying the space between. For some of you, I'm also getting this feeling where it's like you're looking out to the universe or looking out to the world, and it's almost like you're saying, make me an offer. Like, make me an offer. I'm ready. I'm ready for something new. I'm ready for something fresh. Make me an offer. And it's weird that you feel like this because, yeah, that's what's gonna happen. It's a very interesting, auspicious type of space that you're in right now. You're feeling what you're feeling because that's what you're about to be receiving. You're feeling that because you're gonna get an offer, like a higher offer. I'm not sure what that means. I'm getting it means different things for all of you. If you haven't caught up yet, a lot of things I say on this channel are like kind of like spiritual metaphors. You have to use your own template to translate like some of the things I say. But you're in a very beautiful position. Some of you, the offer is gonna come, it's gonna manifest in you receiving an idea. And then things are going to come into place like naturally, like serendipitously, like to form this path that you're now about to walk. So when I say an offer, like just, an offer, that's why I said this can mean many things. For some of you, the offer is going to come across as an idea that you get. So yeah, that's what I have for you guys today. If the reading resonated, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to book a personal reading, all the information is in the description box. And that is me for the week. And I will see you guys next week. Later.